Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. I'm so sorry. We might be running just a couple minutes late. We're waiting. We can't have a meeting if we don't have 3 board members. One had a family emergency. The other one's on her way, and we hope that the third one is too. So you're on time, so we appreciate that. Thank you. Is that? Oh, Mr. Velasquez is here, so now we're going to be waiting for Ms. Perez. She's on her way. Oh, Mr. Ocampo is here too. We'll just start in a minute or so. Thank you. Gracias. Uh-huh. I think she has a family emergency. Thank you. Gracias. Bienvenidos a la Junta de la Mesa Directiva del Distrito Alizal. Thank you and welcome to the Alizal Union School District Board meeting. We're going to open this board meeting at 5:30. And we're going to ask our superintendent to please take roll call and make introductions.
President Guadalupe Gilpaz Barrera,
Here.
Vice President Beatriz Perez, Clerk Leticia Garcia, Trustee Robert Ocampo,
Here.
Trustee Jesus Velasquez, 4 present with 1 absent, Ms. Garcia.
Thank you. So still under opening items, number 1, we are going to go to the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have 2 students, Jordan and Jacob, who are 6th graders at Virginia Rocca Barton, because they will be doing a presentation, the principal, and they're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right hand over your heart.
Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you.
I don't know if the sound machine or.
Okay, thank you. We also have another announcement by Mrs. Anzo. I'm not sure what that was. I thought it was an ambulance or something, no? Okay. All righty, we're gonna go on to Mrs. Anzo, and she has a small, something to read for us about a former friend who passed away that was a friend of Alisal. Mrs. Anzo?
Thank you, Ms. Gilpaz. So before we begin, we'd like to take a moment to honor the life and legacy of Mr. Sergio Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez was a pillar of our community, serving on the Salinas City Council from 2002 to 2012, and dedicating his career to empowering others through the redistricting process and political advocacy. To Mr. Sanchez, community and family were one and the same. He was a proud father and grandfathers whose children and grandchildren attended Cesar E. Chavez Elementary. He believed in civic engagement should be joyful and inclusive. Whether he was serving as a district director of the 30th Assembly District, working for the California Strawberry Commission, or mentoring future leaders, Sergio's impact was profound. Please join us in a moment of silence as we remember a man who fought tirelessly for the underserved and loved this city deeply. Thank you. He will be greatly missed.
Thank you, Mrs. Anzo. Going on, we're still number 1, opening items. We're going to go on to Spotlight, and this is an opportunity to feature up to a 3-minute presentation on the positive things that are taking place throughout the district. Are there any spotlights?
Yes, Mr. Julio Castro.
Good evening, board and cabinet members and public. I wanted to take an opportunity to thank you for the support for professional development for our ongoing, and through our ongoing commitment to our classified staff. in addition to our certificated staff. In the past couple of weeks, we had 3 different conferences that we participated in. The first one was the Community Engagement Initiative. Through the Community Engagement Initiative, our team as a whole was able to really think through how are we engaging our families? How are we engaging our community? And are we doing it authentically? And we're bringing that back and we're making action plans, problem of practices, so that we can think through the entire next year, what can we do better to engage in our community? We also attended the Whittier City Elementary School District, and it was a site visit. Whittier City Elementary is a year ahead of us in the community schools grants and funding, and it gave us an opportunity to look at what can we look forward to, right? Our team confidently came back and said, you know what, we're doing a lot of those great things already. So it's great to have our work that is noticed and our team be proud of what we do. We also attended the Homeless Education Conference. It's a fairly new conference in the state of California, where we really work on supporting and learning about how we communicate with McKinney-Vento students. We were able to take 25 staff members, all classified, management and non-management. We know that when we're submitting board items and there's price tags to the conference and the travel, it can look a little bit scary, so I understand why there are questions and we appreciate you. But we know that when we're going on these conferences, there's thoughts, there's intent, and again, investment in our community so that we can come back and say, you know what can we do differently as a district? How are we changing systems? That is community schools, right? That is the strategy. How are we removing the red tape, the barriers to make sure that we're supporting our community? So I just want to say thank you for accepting these board items and continuing to trust in us to go and learn and change the way that we do things. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Excuse me? Oh, is there anybody, ¿hay alguien que necesita los audífonos para la traducción? Suban la mano, por favor, y la señorita Claudia les lleva los audífonos. And there's one in the back, Claudia. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 2, public comment concerning items on the, excuse me. Action item, adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to approve, please.
Motion.
Motion from trustee Perez. I need a second. Second from trustee Velasquez. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns from the board? No? Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 with one trustee being absent, Ms. Garcia. Now we'll go on to public comment. Item number 2. Public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and or non-agenda items. We're going to continue with that. The guidelines are that there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. So before we go on to public comment, I wanted to say that this isn't the only way that the board will hear your comments and concerns. We asked that our numbers, emails, and the way you can contact us, these sheets are in the back because we're not going to have time. How many speakers do we have? We're not going to have time we have the 20 minutes and that's by board policy, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. By the numbers of you, I think we can tell that you have passion for the subject matter that you're here for. So we want to respect that and just let you know. Okay, so we're going to start off with individuals to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda items and or other items. And you may do so at this time. We're going to start at 5:38. And Mrs. Anzo will read the names out.
Brittany Felix.
Put the green, press the green.
No,
No.
we have somebody taking care of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, my
Welcome.
name is Brittany Hernandez Felix, and I have been a part of the Frank Paul community since childhood. Over the years, I've seen multiple principals come and go, and I speak not only as a parent, but also as a deeply rooted in the school history. My oldest son is now 18 years old. At that time, I was a single mother navigating many challenges. Today, I am raising twins, and in total have been 5 children, along with myself, that have been part of the Frank Paul community. As a child, I experienced something traumatic at this school and in the first grade involving a teacher. Because of that, I was extremely hesitant to send my own children to Frank Paul, especially given the reputation at the time. However, everything changed when Mr. Porras became principal. Mr. Porras has provided unconditional support to me and my family. As a single mother at the time, that support meant everything to me. He always took the time to guide me, understand that every child is different and deserved individual care and attention. Because of that, all my children are grown into positive contributing members to the society. I have deep admiration and gratitude for Mr. Porras. He has played a meaningful role in the lives of all my 5 children. More importantly, he has created a safe, welcoming environment, not just for my family, but for the entire community. As a parent, I want a principal who makes me feel that my children are safe, valued, and supported. Mr. Porras is that person. He is more than a principal. He is a consistent, caring presence. He is there every morning, opening the doors and welcoming our children with warmth. That matters to me. As someone who has seen generations of leadership at the school, I strongly believe that losing Mr. Porras for reasons that do not reflect the needs of this community would be a mistake. Our voices as parents and community members should matter in this decision like this. I respectfully ask that you consider keeping Mr. Porras as a principal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Erika Andrade.
Welcome.
Gracias. Buenas tardes a toda la mesa directiva. Yo estoy aquí como mamá y representando a muchas mamás que en este día no están. Yo tengo mi corazón roto desde que me enteré de esta noticia. Mi hijo mayor tiene 21 años. Él estuvo Fran Pau desde que estuvo en preescolar. Ahorita tengo un niño cursando segundo grado y he batallado mucho con mi hijo con ciertas dificultades de comportamiento que ha tenido desde kinder. Y créame que recibí un apoyo incondicional del señor Mr. Porras. El diario tenía que ir a su clase para ayudarle a la maestra por su comportamiento. Él creyó más en mi hijo que yo misma y él me ha ayudado a mí a creer en él y a poderlo ayudar. Hasta el día de hoy, en segundo grado, solamente tiene una vez que se ha ido a la oficina. Para mí eso es algo grande y me preocupa mucho porque él al enterarse de la decisión que ustedes como mesa directiva le ha afectado mucho. Le ha afectado mucho y me preocupa que lo que he avanzado con él venga atrás. Y no precisamente nada más mi hijo. Sé de muchos casos de niños con necesidades de comportamiento y él le ha ayudado. Yo con todo mi corazón vengo a pedirles que analicen esa decisión que tomaron, porque créame que la comunidad de Fran Pao no nos vamos a quedar con los brazos abiertos, porque se me hace una injusticia la decisión que tomaron, ¿verdad? Porque no vamos a encontrar un director como él. Me preocupa otro punto, que los rumores de la directora que piensan mandar, ahorita los padres en la escuela que se encuentran están tratando de quitarla. ¿Qué nos espera a nosotros en la Fran Paul? Gracias.
Gracias a usted. La señorita va a interpretar para los de habla inglés.
Leslie.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. For starters, I'm a mom repping other moms that are heartbroken with the news. My eldest son, who is now 21 years old, started in preschool, and my other son in second grade. One of my sons had behavior issues since kinder, and we received unconditional support because he was going to the teacher's class because of his behavior. Mr. Porras believed in him, and since then, he has only been in the office once. Finding out about the news has really affected him, and I am scared that he will decline in the progress of his behavior. And with my whole heart, I ask of you to reconsider your decision. We as a school, Frank Paul, we are not going to stand by this unjust decision. And we have noticed that the principal that will be placed in this at Frank Paul has been removed from her previous school. So what is expected of us at Frank Paul?
Thank you.
Fernando Samarripa, or Zavala, sorry, Fernando Zavala Jr.
Welcome, Mr. Zavala.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Board members, buenas tardes. My name is Mr. Zavala. I teach over at Alisa High School. I'm one of the 10th grade world history teachers, and I wanted to come in and express some of my thoughts, right, when I heard over multiple people from my neighborhood that Mr. Porras' job was at stake. First time I met Mr. Porras was here, Jesse Sanchez, when I was a student. He looked out for me in so many ways. And even when I moved neighborhoods over to Ryder on the trailer park on 1280, I attended Frank Paul. And that's where I believe he started his administrative career there. You know, he's been dedicated to our community for over 30 years. I think he deserves that position. He helped out not just myself, but my nephews, my nieces that went to Frank Paul. My niece that she had an IEP. And then I have also two daughters that are soon going to be enrolled to Frank Paul. So if there's anybody that needs that position and deserves it, it's him, Mr. Porras. I still remember when it was Mr. Porras, it was Mr. Cabrera. They were great administrators when I was a kid, and I still have those memories, right? They looked out for us in so many ways. Beyond the school, they would provide so many resources for those of us, myself included, that needed it. When it came down to food or issues in our homes, right? He was there. He did a lot more than just his job as an administrator. So I ask you guys to please reconsider your decision. I tried to search in the board agenda information about his dismissal, but I couldn't find anything. I know that in my district, I see a list of folks that get or that resign or new hires. I see all of that information, but I've not once seen his name on there, you know, and I ask for transparency for our community, and that is all. Mr. Porras, he's from here. He deserves it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Estela Rodriguez. Estela Rodriguez.
Welcome, Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you. So good evening to all. I'm Estela Mercado Rodriguez, TK teacher at Frank Paul School. I have had the honor and the joy of serving the LSL school community for 25 years as a teacher. 23 of those years at Frank Paul School. I have been a union leader for 25 years and have had the privilege of representing our members in various capacities. In the 23 years that I have been at Frank Paul, the school has seen its share of principals, some good, some bad, and some ugly individuals who have either raised morale and supported students, their families, and their staff, to despicable individuals with egos who didn't care one bit about the Frank Paul School community. As a union leader, we are the first to know and hear about hostile work environments, the unfairness, lack of professionalism, and misconduct of principals with regards to treatment of staff, students, or members of the community. We are the first to raise the red flag with the principal first and then bring up concerns to the district administration. The school board announced 2 principals would be reassigned, one of those principals being Miguel Porras at Frank Paul School. To say that I am upset is to put it mildly. I am beyond disappointed and deeply concerned with this arbitrary decision. Union leadership had no clue. We have not had a single negative concern or history of any problem with regard to his professionalism or commitment in his 11 years of service to the Frank Paul School community. Mr. Porras has had consistent support over the years from his direct supervisor, Mr. Koenig, who would set foot on the Frank Paul campus 2 to 4 times per month. His direct mentor, Dr. Hernandez, would visit the site 1 to 2 times per week. I know this because they would always stop by my room to see what was happening in TK land. The one thing I admire about Miguel Porras is that he will speak truth to power.
He will advocate for students, their
Thank you,
families, and
thank you.
teachers in a respectful manner.
Jenny
you.
Avila?
Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Rodriguez. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Avila, and I have been a second and fourth grade teacher at Frank Paul Elementary for the past 19 years. Today, I stand before you in support of our leader, Mr. Porras. Mr. Porras has been a principal that has been visible and available for his students, his parents, and his staff. He is one of the first people students see on a daily basis and is often in the playground during recess, playing basketball, sharing childhood stories, or just simply connecting with the students. As a mom of two, I have found it very difficult to balance my work life and home life. For many years, I had extra time after school. However, this changed when I had my children. Mr. Porras has been supportive and understanding when family emergencies arise. When I found the need to text Mr. Porras late in the evening because I would not be able to make it to work the following day, his response was, "Maestra, take care of yourself, take care of your family. I will find someone to cover you." Thankfully, I would then proceed to let him know where my emergency lesson plans were at. Thankfully, I've never had the need to use them because I need routine. My students need routine. And most importantly, we need a leader who is caring and supportive. Mr. Porras is a perfect example of what a family should be in the workplace. Academically, we have room for improvement. We have made many changes to our teaching practices. Some I'm on board with, while others I don't quite understand, but I follow. However, a change in administration is not what we need. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Alma Garcia?
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alma Garcia, and I am a teacher and parent at Frank Paul Elementary. Today, I'm here to talk to you about Mr. Porras. During the last years, Mr. Porras has been able to create a very positive school culture at Frank Paul Elementary, where everyone respects and cares for each other. If you ever wonder where you can find Mr. Porras, you can find him in many places. In the morning, you can find him in the parking lot, welcoming students with a great smile, greeting parents, helping kids get out of their cars, walking the little ones to the cafeteria, even helping them carry their backpacks. He is always there, making sure everyone is safe and happy. After that, you can find him around the school. He will be walking to the different classes, making sure that all of our students are ready to learn. Sometimes you will find Mr. Porras teaching a few science lessons here and a few math lessons there because he has the heart of a teacher. During recess and lunch periods, you can find Mr. Porras in the cafeteria, reminding kids to eat their fruits and veggies. Other times, you can find him on the playground, talking to students about their weekends, about soccer, and other topics that the kids are interested in. After school, when everyone goes home, you can find Mr. Porras in his office, doing his paperwork, planning PDs and staff meetings, looking at scores, and always coming up with ideas on how to improve our school and how to better support our students. Even on Saturdays, you will find Mr. Porras at Frank Paul, working in gardens, planting seeds, pulling weeds, watering plants, cleaning the halls, making our school beautiful. On some Saturdays, Mr. Porras takes our most at-risk students on fishing trips, where he teaches them about fishing and appreciation for nature. Mr. Porras is always there for his students and their families, his staff members, and Frank Paul community. He always says that we are all like one big family, and that is for sure how it feels. Dear board members, we invite you to visit our school anytime so you can observe our school environment and culture. We would also like to thank Mr. Porras for all of his hard work and dedication to our school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
Mrs. Clemente?
Welcome, Ms. Clemente.
Good afternoon, everybody present. My name is Maribel, and I'm one of the parents at Frank Paul Schools. We are here seeking for what it is the best interest of the community of Frank Paul Elementary School. In which more than a school, it is a family. It is not easy to form a community that considers itself a family, but with the leadership of Mr. Porras, it has become a reality for us. Children feel safe and welcome, and this is because of him. I have a total of 4 daughters, oldest almost being in college, and the last one being in second grade. If you ask any of my daughters, who is a leader for you? they will mention Mr. Porras. A positive impact he has provided to my daughters. It is difficult to comprehend why other schools like Cesar Chavez Elementary School, where petitions were filed in January to remove the principal, but yet she is still there. Our principal has done his very best and has been proven with exams like iReady. We only ask for what is fair. Please take the time to conduct a thorough investigation. Take the time to visit our school and experience the beautiful environment he has created. Make the decisions within the best interest of the students, teachers, and parents at Friend Paul Elementary School.
Thank you.
I have another Mrs. Clemente. This a different phone number, so there's no other Mrs. Clemente? No? Okay. Lorena Mendoza.
Welcome, Ms. Mendoza.
Dear board members in Alisal School District, thank you for your service. President Gilpas, we ask you to please extend the time. So as you could see, there's a lot of parents that would like to express their concerns, and it is something that you guys could vote on. Thank you. My name is Lorena Mendoza. I am a mother of a Frank Paul student, and I am here today along with other parents to support Mr. Porras. When we send our children to school, we want the same thing that you do. We want them to feel safe, supported in their needs, to gain the knowledge and skills they need to be successful in life. And that is exactly what Mr. Porras provides us. Along with knowledge and skills, he listens to what parents and students and staff need. It is important for us as it is to you. As the school board, it is your job to educate our children in the district. I ask you to focus on what the parents and students and staff at the Frank Pauls want, and that is to keep Mr. Porras at our school and continue as our principal. You represent us, and you are our voices. We want you to hear us. Please respond to our emails. We are currently pending. By this time, you guys should be having some of the petitions. So hopefully you guys had time to revise that, and more are coming up. We are asking to please keep Mr. Porras. Let us keep Mr. Porras as our principal in our school. He is the heart of our school, and we want him to continue until he's ready to retire. And when he does, we will joyfully celebrate him. But once he's ready to do so, this is unprecedented for us, and your decision matters and can make the difference. So we are here, we're pending for you to please respond to the emails, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza.
Ricky Cabrera. Ricky Cabrera.
Welcome, Mr. Cabrera.
Good afternoon, members of the El South School Board. Regarding Mr. Porras, I would like to acknowledge the decision that was made following your closed session deliberations. It is clear that this decision was based on the facts we presented and was reached through a unanimous vote with the best interests of the students as a guiding priority. School boards have a responsibility to act with integrity and independence. Decisions of this importance should never be influenced by intimidation or popularity, but rather by what serves the educational environment and well-being of our children. This action taken by this board reflects that responsibility. Furthermore, we are witnessing today only reinforces that decision to be with careful consideration and sound judgment. Thank you for your commitment to placing students at the center of your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cabrera. Okay, so we are at our 20-minute limit, but please hold. I'm going to ask the board members, since we only have 5 more speakers, at 2 minutes each, then everyone who wanted to speak will have the opportunity. But I'd like to see what the rest of the board, So I'm going to take a vote. I say yes. Ms.
I say
Perez?
yes.
Yes, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to finish off then and go beyond the 20 minutes and let everybody that signed up to speak, speak. Okay?
Emilio Oñate.
Welcome, Mr. Oñate.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. My name is Emilio Oñate, and I am a student from Frank Paul Elementary School. I and many others am here to speak on behalf of the principal of our school, Mr. Porras. I have been in Frank Paul for 7 years, all with Mr. Porras as principal, and never has he done something to make me believe he is a bad principal. Never has he made me believe he deserves to be fired like this. Never has he gave me a reason to dislike him, because no one could ever dislike someone as amazing as Mr. Porras. I would like to thank him for helping students out during hard times and always motivating and supporting students. Now, take a moment to think. Where, besides Frank Paul, have you seen a principal opening the door and greeting his students in the morning, taking students fishing, and growing and cultivating plants in the garden with his students? Nowhere, because Mr. Porras is the best principal. He is irreplaceable. Now, please reconsider your decision, because I don't just want my younger siblings to hear how much of a good principal Mr. Porras was. I want them to know and see how good he is. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Laureen Bermudez. Ms. Bermudez.
Welcome, Ms. Bermudez.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, and all LSL Union School District members. My name is Laureen Bermudez. I am a parent of a former student, 2 current students, one being Emilio, the one that just spoke, and a future student. I am here to express deep concern regarding the intent to terminate Principal Porras of Frank Paul Elementary School. It is troubling to hear that such action may be taken under circumstances that appear unjust and unsupported by fair evaluation. Principal Porras has demonstrated a strong commitment to all Frank Paul students, staff, and families he serves by being present, welcoming, and always available with his open door policy. His leadership has contributed to a positive school environment, fostering both academic growth and community unity. Decisions of this magnitude should be based on clear, transparent, and equitable processes. And it is important that all relevant facts and perspectives are carefully considered before any final determination is made. Keep in mind, an unjust termination not only impacts the individual involved, but also disrupts the stability of the students and school community and undermines trust in the decision-making process. Staff, students, and families deserve consistency, fairness, and prompt communication, especially when it comes to leadership that plays such a vital role in the success of our school. I respectfully urge you all to thoroughly review the situation, ensure that due process is followed, and consider the broader impact of this decision, our children. I want to close it off with the following. Every day, we are trying to make our children, who are our future leaders, do the right thing. So let's please set an example and make the right and just decision of keeping Principal Porras at Frank Paul Elementary. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Sandra.
Welcome, Ms. Sandra.
Board President, trustees, and superintendent, I am a mother of 3 former Frank Paul students, and I stand here today alongside staff, families, and students of Frank Paul in support of our school principal, Mr. Porras, and speak out against his unjustified termination. During the board meeting held on March 11 at approximately 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds during the second interim budget report, it was clearly stated that no layoffs would happen this year or next 2 years. So budget constraints are not the reason behind this decision. Academic school performance is not the issue either. Under Mr. Porras' leadership, Frank Paul has fostered a positive school culture where students, staff, and families feel welcomed, heard, and valued. So why is he no longer a fit for our school? This raises concerns. Could this decision be influenced by personal motives? Additionally, why is his termination not listed on today's agenda under employment report? If this were truly an urgent or serious matter, immediate action would have taken, but that was not the case. While we understand that certain details may be confidential, our community deserves transparency. We have a right to understand decisions that directly impact our school and our students. Most importantly, we strongly believe that Mr. Porras should continue serving as principal of Frank Paul School. And to Mr. Porras, thank you for the countless students whose lives you have positively impacted simply by being who you are, a leader who genuinely cares. Thank you.
Thank you.
Abelino.
Welcome, Abelino. Bienvenido.
Thank you. Good evening, Alisa Junior School District staff, board, and community. My name is Avelino again, and we are here because we want justice. And we are unhappy with the termination of Mr. Porras. So I'm going to talk about the agenda. The agenda is incomplete, has no transparency, and it's misleading to the community because has no information about Mr. Porras on it. I want to demand to the board to reconsider this decision on the termination of Mr. Porras. And based on the agendas, missing information, we assume the Alisal Junior School District is secretly terminating Mr. Porras. And I'm gonna let you know that we are tired of favoritism, and we are not going to tolerate retaliation against Alisal Junior School District staff. And to Mr. Porras, we have been very blessed because he opened his heart. And he has a high standards. He has high standards and open doors and equal to all policy. So thank you, Mr. Porras, for everything that you have been doing for our families at Frank Paul.
Thank you.
Maria Lopez.
Welcome, Ms.
afternoon.
Lopez.
Thank
Excuse me.
you. Good afternoon. My name is Maria Lopez, and also school boards, whatever here or anywhere, should never make decisions based on intimidation or popularity. They should make decisions based on what is best for the students. The decision may reflect the responsibility and commitment. What we are seeing today only confirms that the board made the right choices. Also, the LSO School Union District Board made the decision based on facts. It was discussed in closed session and passed with unanimous vote, with one priority in mind, our children's. I want to thank the board for keeping our children's in the top priority. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. So we're going to close public comment at 6:08. And I did want to commend everybody is so professional. You expressed yourself and we listened. Thank you for being professional and respectful. And I appreciate that very much. So we're going to continue now with our meeting. You are welcome to stay. But maybe if you're not staying for the whole meeting, we need to maybe recess for 5 minutes. Or if most people staying for the meeting? Okay, we'll just continue on. And thank you again for your respect and professionalism. We're going to move on to association comments now. LSL Teachers Association, please.
Okay. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and the AUSD community. Tonight, I would like to read to you a recent posting from an author I follow online. It resonates with teaching. Teachers are being asked to close gaps, raise scores, differentiate for every learner, manage behavior, support mental health, build relationships, handle attendance issues, and smile while doing it. This is the job right now. And let's be honest, the pressure is intense. Teachers want students to grow. Of course they do. They are working hard every single day to make it happen. But growth does not happen in a vacuum. It happens with consistency, with support, with resources, with attendance, with strong systems, with time, with relationships, with students who are regulated enough to learn. So we put the full weight of achievement on teachers without addressing everything else impacting that growth. We are setting people up to feel that they are constantly failing no matter how hard they work. And that is unreasonable. High expectations matter, results matter, growth matters. But if we want better outcomes, we need to support the people doing the actual work, not just keep turning up the pressure and acting like pressure alone produces excellence. In fact, it instead creates burnout. At this time, school site principals are figuring out their staffing for next school year, and teachers are being notified about classroom displacements. For example, at one school site, they would like to collapse a third grade class, so then there would be 3 third grade classes with 38 students in each class. Let that sink in for a minute. I can tell you that this current cohort has many behavior challenges, and putting all behavior challenging students in one classroom together will be absolute chaos. This is the same school site that had 2 teachers quit at the beginning of the school year due to behavior and lack of support from their site. So let me loop back to, how are you supporting the teachers in our district if you are going well beyond the class size caps? I can honestly say that as someone who has taught third grade for 10 years, having a large class size the first year that those students are taking the SBAC will not have a good outcome on the state test. You want results, smaller class sizes are important. And since we talk a lot about data in AUSD, let's think, are we going to get our higher test scores with larger class sizes, followed by the daily behaviors and challenges that teachers are facing? The answer is no. I encourage all board members and cabinet members to go to classes in AUSD that have large class sizes, whether it's in Gen Ed class or an SDC class, and teach for a day. Spend a day in the life of a teacher, and maybe you'll understand. On a more personal note, I have a perfect example of the importance of stability in a school is that I have had the privilege of having Miguel Porres as my vice principal and principal for the 11 years that I have been in the school district. On March 11th, the board made the decision to reassign him and not be the principal at Frank Paul anymore. This has hurt the Frank Paul community tremendously. I know that there haven't been any issues with him as an administrator with the staff, families, and students. Often in the morning, you can find Mr. Porres out in the school parking lot greeting students and walking them safely to the cafeteria. What other principal does this for his students? None. This seems to be a personal decision instead of a professional one. If you say it's due to data, what data was given to you? Because Frank Paul is in the middle amongst the 12 schools in our district. As a reminder, we are here for the students. If the students' social emotional well-being, we
Ms.
should be
Edwards,
looking.
please excuse the interruption. So,
I'm almost done. I have
okay,
2 lines.
so it has to be related to the union business, please. Thank you.
I would like to finish my comment.
How much more
I'm almost done.
Okay.
If we're looking out for our students' emotional well-being, we should be looking out for it. And as Mr. Porres is the compass at Frank Paul, I think it's important that you are reminded that community voice matters, as each one of you was elected to represent the members of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. California School Employees Association, Chapter 577. I thought I saw Ms. Keiko. No comment? Okay. Do we have any here representing the United Substitute Teachers Union? No? Okay, we'll go on then to presentations. Our presentation is our school site presentation, Virginia Rocca Barton Elementary School. We have Principal Luis Romero that will present for us. Did we introduce? Okay.
And Mr. Romero, you have 15 minutes, okay? No, we can't hear you. Is it Greek?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
You know what? We're gonna recess for about 2 minutes so that the parents, can clear if they're going to. They're welcome to stay for a couple of minutes. Thank you all for being here. Can we test your mic, Mr. Romero?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we'll just wait for Mrs. Anzo to get back and we'll get started. I know you can't wait, those smiling faces. Well, almost forces you to smile, huh? Okay, we can start now. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys. So, good evening, board members, President Ms. Vitas Barrera, and cabinet members. So, I'm Luis Romero, I'm the school principal at Virginia Rocca Barton Elementary School. With me is Ms. Salinas. She is my assistant principal, and Ms. Rey is our community school coordinator. So, it will be a collaborative presentation, and we're honored to be here to kind of spotlight some of the great work that we're doing at Virginia Rocca Barton Elementary School. So, every presentation, I'd like to just begin to recognize Ms. Virginia Rocca Barton. She's just to kind of honor Women's History as this past month in March. And for our new board members or and community that Ms. Virginia Wacabal was the first superintendent here with Ali Sal, served as a principal. And we started teaching she would come and visit and read to the kids and read to and just hang out with our teachers. So we have great memories of her at VRB. So I want to take a moment to kind of honor her. And it's just a privilege to be a principal at VRB. So just a quick overview of VRB, our school setting. So we do offer a bilingual cohort at VRB. Like most of our schools, most of our students are ELs. And I want to highlight some of the programs that we currently host at VRB. We have 2 newcomer classes in which we host a 3rd and 4th grade classroom, newcomers, and 5th and 6th grade as well. So that's 2 classes, about 40 students. And we also have 2 special day classes, 5th and 6th graders. And right now, our attendance fluctuates, but we're still within the 500 student population. I'm gonna jump in right into the data, reading and math on the dashboard, but I wanted to start with the data just to kind of highlight that everything that we've done this school year has really been focused on our data. Everything we have completed this year has been data driven. So here's our reading data for iReady. For the most part, all of the students are progressing or see green, but one of the areas that we want to highlight this year, we noticed that a lot of work that, so the area that we highlight is that our students are struggling with vocabulary and comprehension. So this school year, that's been one of our main focuses. And our teachers, our leadership team developed a plan how to support the area and vocabulary and comprehension. And through the presentation, I'll show a little bit more how we target those specific areas. And math, again, benchmark 1 versus our most current benchmark, our students are growing. They're increasing from 1% to 7% out of above and less students out of the red area. And these are assessment that is our student report card with our at VRB, our dashboard. So we do have some indicators in orange, and there are some red indicators in chronic absenteeism and science. And I want to share that as well throughout the presentation. We're going to show how we're targeting those specific areas. So I want to start with our SMART. So this school, it is our first year with WestEd with VITAL, which stands for Visibly Improving Teaching and Learning Collaboration. And as a team, we developed a SMART goal. Okay, like I mentioned, the SMART goal is aligned to our iReady data. So we, at the beginning of school, we sat together with the consultants, we looked at our data and developed a SMART goal. So we developed a SMART goal as a school side, and as well, every grade level create a specific SMART goal aligned to our school-wide SMART goal. So our SMART goal this year for VRB is 80% of our students in English will meet or exceed a typical growth in their iReady data. K-Sec, to 3rd grade, 67% of our students in Spanish will be at or above grade level, and then 50% of our students will increase on their LPAC, so at least 1 LPAC advancement. And we will do this by the following teaching improvements. So our teachers will be working on teacher clarity, close reading, explicit vocabulary instruction, and language development. Okay, and like I mentioned, this all ties into again support. We're looking at iReady data to really create these SMART goals. So with the SMART goals this year, I said we have kind of align everything SMART goals in the sense of professional development and focusing at time during staff meetings. So at the beginning of school, we started strong with teacher clarity and instructional compass that was shared by Ms. Samson, and really providing training to our teachers how to create learning intentions, success criteria, so our students know what they're learning, how they're going to be successful, at the end of the lesson. With the collaboration, that's the middle picture with MCOE, provided professional development on reading. That it's an area where our teams still need kind of a refresher for our students to. For teachers to kind of give that opportunity for our students to critically think and have discourse and really have a deep understanding when they're reading complex text. And then vocabulary. As you saw in the iReady data, our vocabulary was one of the lowest performing areas, and through conversation with our teams, our grade levels did not have a set vocabulary routine. So this year, we did a lot of work on setting a school vocabulary routine. We're using a strategy through Storm. Just to give you an idea, it's very structured. Every routine for a student to acquire a vocabulary word. There's images involved, sentence frame, there's a lot of word repetition, there's a total physical response. So there's always practice so students can acquire the vocabulary. So like I mentioned, this year, it was the first year of Vital. A lot of this work has been in collaboration with Vital, with West Said, and with the equipment with tools and protocols to support our. I'm sorry. I want to make sure you guys hear me.
But you're yelling at us.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
got it. Okay.
Just kidding. Relax, relax.
All right. So, Vital. So this is our first year with Vital, which once again it's a consultant through West Said that is working with our grade level teams, with our leadership teams, and it's provided with protocols and how to work better when we get together as grade level teams. So there's different protocols on how to look at standards, how to create lessons, and it's really based on giving focus on instruction. So how can we improve our instruction to better serve our students? So here's some of the images, top left. There's an example where teacher's doing the lesson tuning lesson, and where teacher demonstrates the lesson, and their peer grade level colleagues provide feedback, and it's a set of protocol, right? So I'm focusing on the instruction. The bottom left, you can't see of the picture, but there's about 15 adults in the classroom, and our leadership team is observing Ms. Quintero on the lesson. It's a peer observation protocol, and we observe for about 10, 15 minutes, and then the team provides feedback on the instruction, right? So this year, that's been kind of like the focus, there's been challenges, but it's trying to open up our doors and to our peers so we can observe one another and better instruction to better serve our students. So something new that we started this year, we've always offered intervention, but something we started with a different structure this school year, and it didn't just happen. It's been a kind of couple years of learning. We've had at VRB several years of working with a different consultant, Solution Tree, which they were really big on professional learning communities. With some of the work with Solution Tree and now West Ed, we developed this block, which it's a response to intervention, and we call it at VRB What I Need. And all it really is just a scheduled part of the day and where students receive reading intervention. Once again, going back to the I already did in reading, a lot of the students, if you see that red gap, there's a lot of us students in the upper grades that are struggling with reading. So with this approach, every single student, high, low, medium, they're getting this, they have 30 minutes every single day and where they get support in their specific area of need. So for example, in third grade, their block might be from 11 to 11:30. Students are broken up into small groups with the support of teacher and intervention teachers, and every single group has a different targeted support based on the student's need. So that's something that we're trying out this year, and it's just, I think it's been beneficial because every single student it's getting it's skills so that they need based on their results and what they need to read and to perform. So also I want to highlight at VRB this school year, and it's an idea we've been kind of playing around the last couple of years, and how can we provide and be creative to provide our teachers team time, right? Right now with the current structure that we have as a district is teachers meet every 6 weeks or so, depending on how they fall in the cycle, and that's a long time for teachers to kind of create, analyze common formative assessments. So from last year to this year, now we have something more structured, and we're with the support with Ed Services, we were able to consult with Sweat 3, which is a PE company. They provide PE services. So every Friday they come to VRB. They provide every single grade level 45 minutes of physical education. During those 45 minutes, teachers get to connect with the grade level colleagues and collaborate, work on protocols, create common formative assessments, or analyze data and provide next steps for our students. So that's something that's been working well for our teachers and also for our students. They look forward to our coaches every single Friday so they can have access to those physical education activities. So now I'm gonna transition over to Ms. Salinas.
Good evening. As mentioned before, my name is Celia Salinas Garcia. Ms. Salinas to most. Thank you for having us to board president, superintendent, board members, community members. It's an honor to be here to spotlight our school. So I know that we all know this, but I'm going to start off by saying, you know, Mr. Romero covered a lot of the academics, and that's not always the full picture, right? And so a lot of my responsibilities falls under student services. And so one of the areas that we've really been focusing on this year is attendance, as for most of our schools. And so the summary here, is illustrated by the graphics, is that we are very much seeing improvement at our school. So we always incentivize attendance monthly, trimesterally at the end of the year. The bottom left picture shows a collective effort at our school where we're essentially taking on the students who were previously chronically absent, and we've kind of taken them on as a caseload. And so we are meeting with parents. It was a collective effort, social worker, counselor, both of us, Ms. Reyes, to sit down with families and find out what those barriers are. Because 95% of the time, it's not clear-cut. There are a lot of factors as to why students are showing up, barriers for the family, for the students. And so, again, just as a summary, in attendance in general has been improved at VRB compared to last year. The year-to-date attendance is almost the same. It's 1/100th slightly lower, more or less the same. And our chronic absenteeism rate has declined from last year. So you can clearly see, right, that our efforts so far have been working in terms of attendance. Related to that, again, because a lot of times when we do sit down with families, we'll have families come in, talk to me at these attendance meetings in different situations. A lot of these stories come up, and a lot of the needs that families have or students have also come up. And that is where we, at VRB, we take on a very interdisciplinary approach. We're collaborating with everybody on site. This is our coordination of services team. I'm extremely proud to have these people on board because, again, like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes aside from the academics. So we have our school counselor, a district social worker, a psychologist. We have an ESS clinician, community schools coordinator who's joining us here, who's amazing, by the way. Our parent ed specialist. We have an ESS wellness coach as well. We have a Sticks and Stones counselor, right? So in different ways, they're able to support when these things come up. When somebody needs transportation, we can reach out to our FRC. When the barrier is there's a medical emergency, that we provide either internal resources, external resources, whatever that may come up, that we're able to support our families in whatever way that we can. And just as a summary for our data, so when someone in the community, staff member, students, parents, have that need, they would fill out a referral. And this is just a summary of those referrals. We've had 101 total so far this year. 21 of them have been SSTs, which I manage. 32 have been FRC referrals, so they would go to Mr. Reyes or Mr. Distancia. 46 SEL referrals, so it could be counseling, it could be therapy, it could be a county program, so it depends. And 2 for attendance. So we partner with all of these organizations and to provide those services for our students. And lastly, I know a lot of our schools also take this approach, right, to incentivizing, providing positive school culture. And so this is just a few examples of some of our PBIS events that we've had at VRB. Some of you may know that we have our vacas at VRB right in the middle. We have movie nights. Students are awarded with either participating in events. So on the left-hand side are some examples of those events. We've had movie nights. We had pumpkin decorating for Halloween. We've had dances. And on the right, they could also choose to go to a PBIS store so they can exchange their Eagle dollars for some prizes as well.
So who gets to wrap it up? Because I think
Ms.
the
Reyes is
15
gonna-
minutes are up. Is this it? This is the last
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Griselda Reyes. I'm the Community School Coordinator at VRB. And today I just want to give you a really quick update on our Community School Center. So the community schools, we take a whole child approach to supporting students, educational and life success. So at our Community School Center this school year, we have serviced 317 families and 163 students. And our focus this school year was college, career, and life readiness, support with access to basic needs, health and well-being, which is super important, and bringing community into the classroom. So I've been super fortunate to work with such amazing administrators. They are very accepting of helping support bringing community schools into the classrooms. I think that is a super important factor in helping our kids grow and preparing them for college, career, and life readiness. So we have we've built a few pilot projects this school year, starting with parent support literacy workshops. We partnered with Scholastic, who has done an amazing job, and providing our parents with small tips and tools that they could utilize at home to better support their kids with reading, vocabulary, and speaking. And he does it in such a fabulous way. And then we also started and partnered with we started a reader leader program, and actually today was the first day. We hosted it at VRB. We have 25 students participating in the after school program, and it's with the Read to Me project. And it's catered to help build student voice, but also giving them that love for reading so they could build on their skills. We also,
Okay, so I'm really sorry, but we do have your presentation, and I just have to be fair and square because I don't want another school to say, well, you let them go longer.
No
So,
worries.
but it was so much information that you have to
Yes.
share with us, and we love it. So thank you so much. But I do want to give the board members an opportunity to ask questions. Are you open to that?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Ms. Perez, do you have any questions, Trustee Perez, or comments?
No questions, but I'm jealous of the vacas costumes. I've seen them a lot and I want one. But it shows that you guys are proud of what you guys do. And I like that. And thank you for being transparent with your data. And not only being transparent, but looking for solutions. And I think that the WIN/RTI, right? Is awesome because if it's 30 minutes of blocks, it also prepares them to going to 7th grade. So I think that's pretty cool. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Trustee Velasquez, do you have any comments, questions?
Yes, sorry. I was wondering, why did, like you said, last year you guys had WIN and this year you guys have Vital? What was the reason for the change?
So what was the reason for?
The change in the intervention company that's helping you guys out?
So Vital, it's a consultant that's working with the grade level teams, and then WIN is just a structure at the site level. So we're not working directly. So we got we got knowledge from the consultant from Solution Tree, kind of learning from them. Gotta back off. Learning from them, kind of the structure of why to do WINs. So let me give you some background. So before we would provide intervention, students were getting pulled out during the main instruction, right? So it was by class. So students will get pulled out for reading intervention, but if they're doing math, they're missing the math portion, right? So with this concept that we kind of learned from, it's been around, but we learned it from VRB, learned it specifically from the PDF from Solution Tree. We're trying this approach, and we're the reading intervention. It's every grade level has a designated time, so it's two different components. Not sure if I answered the question.
And then I can help with the vital piece. The vital piece is coaching the teachers directly. So the WIN is for students, and the vital is coaching the teachers directly when they're planning their lessons and their collaboration.
Final question. I know you said you had an issue with chronic absences. Are you doing the truancy, following up with truancy and doing the letters to the DA and all of that? That's still not working?
Yeah. Yes, we are. I think it's one of those things where we can think of chronic absenteeism and we can think of truancy, and both of those are really about attendance, right? So there are different strategies depending on those cases. I would say there are very few that we've gotten to, while I do issue truancy letters, I think I've only had one mediation meeting this year where we really, we tried everything and it still wasn't working. But as mentioned, right, we have that cost teams because we have a lot of resources, right? So when those barriers or issues are addressable, we start there, right? And then if it continues, then we can take that added approach with truancy.
Is there anybody actually going out to the homes to pick up the kids?
Yep, that's one of the things we've done. All three of us actually have been on home visits. If needed, we will be out there and have been.
Thank you. Trustee Ocampo?
Thank you for your presentation. It was clear and understandable. I had a question about one of your programs. I was a high school counselor in my prior life. So I continue to have a real interest in college, career, and life readiness kind of program. So I'm curious what your college, career, and life readiness program, what it entails, if you can talk a little bit about what you do with the students in that area.
Quick segue. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to answer or go for it?
So with community schools, that is a major focus. So we're looking at helping our students and preparing them for what's next. And we know that for most students, maybe college is not the pathway that they choose. Maybe it's a career or technical support. So we really want to build those partnerships with the high school districts because they also are community schools in our community. So we're trying to bridge those pathways so that we could work together to help support our students in helping them grow and getting them life ready.
I just want to add to that next week on Thursday we'll be having our career day, and it's something I think it's I want to say it's the first time we haven't had it in a while ever since I've been a long time. So that's another segue to kind of career ready pathways, right? And we invited different folks from different careers, different backgrounds, to kind of parents as well to come and present to our students. So all of these are invited next Thursday at VRB.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous. Yeah, Alisa High School had their career day just a few weeks ago. It was a great success. It was former graduates come back and they speak to the students about what they're doing. Now, I graduated from Alice also. I was there at 7:30 in the morning, which was really early, but it was a wonderful day. I really enjoyed doing that. Another point, like the state of California just recently passed a new law where high school students now will have to, as part of the graduation requirements, they will have to learn finances. They're going to have to take a course on everything that has to do with finances: how to open up credit, how to get a mortgage, how to prepare for retirement, which is kind of life readiness. Because we spend a lot of time in talking to kids about careers, which is important, right? But at some point everybody has to retire, but no one talks about, okay, well, will you be prepared for retirement? Will you be able to retire comfortably? And that's kind of part of the life readiness. I mean, that's a long ways away for our students, but everyone gets there eventually. So I'm really glad to hear that you're working with the high school and coordinating with them. That's fantastic, because as you know, they do a lot of work on pathways and such, whether it's careers and such. But yeah, your career day sounds fantastic. I'm sure it'll be exciting and informative. So thank you.
Thank you. I have a quick question. Thank you for asking the hard questions, my fellow board members. Mine's kind of easy, I think. You are the Eagles, the mascot Eagles, right?
That's us, yeah.
Is there another school that has?
Yes.
Who's the other school that has it?
Chavez.
How did that happen? Are you Blue Eagles or?
We might change it to
Yellow
cows, the VRB cows. I don't know.
Who was an Eagle? Who were Eagles first? Do we know? VRB?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
say so,
Yeah, that is interesting. I kind of thought so. But are the colors of the school the same?
Green, yeah, kind of.
I won't ask any more questions about that. Thank you so much for your presentation. Awesome information. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Romero. Sorry to cut you off there, but you were able to answer the board's questions. Have a wonderful day now.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Mhm. Okay, moving on to our next presentation. Student Achievement, Director of Leadership Development and Accountability, Mary Beal. It's great, thank you. All of us, I think. At least they look great. No?
Members of the community. That was loud. First, I want to say thank you for having me present tonight on our third trimester benchmark data. It has been a while. We've had a lot of upcoming things happening, a lot of data to present, but this is a culminating one. Second, I want to apologize for not having the presentation hard copy. I grabbed the site level data as I have provided you in the past, and I left the hard copy data on the copier. But I do know that there's a digital copy available to you. I believe Dr. Fernandez has shared that, or Ms. Anzo, and I'll be sure that copies are available for the public as soon as we leave. We can work with Ms. Ramirez to make sure that we have that publicly posted. All right, so iReady English, Spanish, and Math growth analysis. So we are looking benchmark 1 through benchmark 3. You have to make it complicated. All right, so this evening, just what we're going to take a look at, we're going to look at and analyze our performance. We're going to analyze, or we are going to examine student growth, look at strengths and gaps by student groups, and then look at what our action and next steps are, not only in 25-26, but into 26-27. So I wanted to remind you of the data that we are looking at. In iReady, they give us 5 different placement levels. They can be deep red, which is 3 or more grade levels below, red, 2 grade levels below, yellow, 1 grade level below, light green, which is early on grade level, and then dark green is that mid or above grade level mark. We don't only look at achievement, we also look at growth. And that is where we want to focus today. And if you remember from last year, that was where we focused too on where do we see us growing in and where do we need to be intentional about improving. So we measure it in 2 ways. We have typical growth. If we think about a school year, our 180 days, we would expect our students to make 100% of typical growth. Stretch growth is when we make additional growth. That stretch growth is pushing beyond 100% growth in the year and closing achievement gaps. So for example, maybe I made 130%. So I'm getting closer to on grade level than I was when I started the year or where I would have expected to be. So we'll look at both of them today through the lens of all of our assessments, with the exception of Spanish, our Spanish iReady reading, and I'll talk a little bit about that when we get to that slide. So the first one is reading in English. This is a graph that you have seen before. Naturally, as I explained the colors, we want the reds to go down and the greens to go up. And with that work being done, the yellow intensifies as well, right? We move from deep red to yellow, and yellow to the shades of green. Takeaways here is from trimester 1 to trimester 3, we had a 14% gain in our overall reading in our English scores. And those students that are 2 or more grade levels below decreased by 16%. This is a new graph for you. This is our Spanish benchmark performance. So our Spanish data, it's the first year that iReady put it out. We do not have the same graphs that our other diagnostics have. So we don't get growth data yet. We have to be in year 2 for iReady to develop what growth data would look like, that typical and stretch. And so we look at it just by how we are achieving from trimester 1 to trimester 2. So you'll see overall there was a strong shift upward with many more students moving into mid or above or early on grade level, with fewer and fewer students remaining 2 or more grade levels below. In math, we also see a very positive trend, and one of our strongest, students at or above grade level grew from 6% to 21%, And the far below band decreased by 21 points, moving 52% to 31%. This is definitely a bright spot, especially as we know we've looked at our math data over the years and an area of focus, something I know that we're going to continue studying. So how much are students growing? So that was the achievement part. This is our growth part. We noticed that in math, already 46% of our students have made a year's worth of growth. And 32% in reading, and 32% of our students have made that growth in math. And if you move to that next column with stretch growth, 17% of our students have already started to close their academic achievement gaps by meeting their stretch growth for the year, and this was taken in March. So we still have 2 months of learning, and 10% of students met their stretch growth in math. Our strongest areas continue to be phonics and phonemic awareness in reading, and numbers and operations, as well as algebraic thinking in math. Areas of focus, you heard Mr. Romero talk about it a little bit. Vocabulary, what are we doing to address vocabulary? And in service to comprehension. And then in math, it's geometry. So, typo, my apologies. English reading growth, 88% of students have met expected gains. That means that's where they were expected to be by this point of the year. We took the test at about 70% of the year. We would want to see our students be 70% towards typical growth or above. 88% of our students have met that growth. The same for math is 68% of that growth. So teetering right around that line of where we wanted them to be. So who is and who isn't growing? So the district-wide average will often mask any gaps. And what we have really brought our leaders into understanding this year is how to manage and monitor smaller report groups, and then work specifically with district leadership support, director of special education, director of migrant, or director of teaching and learning to really address those populations and move students forward. So we are making a difference, but we still have a lot of room to grow. So looking at reading in English, you can see, remember, we were aiming for that 70% mark. Our English learners, homeless students, socioeconomically disadvantaged, students with disabilities, and migrant students are falling below that average. That is an area that we need to address. In math, these populations achieved even a little bit lower. So this growth, what we are seeing, meeting growth and hitting stretch growth, shows that we're making work. This is an increase from last year, but we still have a lot of work to do. And we plan to address that when we are talking about interventions. You heard our site talk about PLCs, talk about win time, talk about vital work. How are we diving into professional development, not only for our leaders, but for our teachers? Because you also heard with our ATA president talk, it's a whole system. Our whole system is responsible for this movement. So there are celebrations. We have strong math growth across most of our sites. We are reducing in the percentage of students 2 or more grade levels below in both English reading and math. And several sites significantly exceeded stretch growth targets. Trends, reading shows steady and consistent progress. Grade level variability is significant. And there are a few grade levels that are driving our most growth, both in reading and in math. So how do we analyze them, study them, and spread those efforts and that work out? And concerns? There's inconsistent progress at sites. Some sites have grade levels that have improved their overall site, but not all sites are showing the equal amount of progress. And students with disabilities continue to have the widest gap. Next steps. This is for leaders. Effective leadership responds to benchmark data by looking not only at instruction, but data use, intervention, and PLCs. So we need to strengthen vocabulary routines in service to comprehension. We need to increase structured language practice for students in reading in Spanish. And in math, we need to continue and deepen math discourse and conceptual understanding of routines. This year, we have focused as leaders reading and tracking data to understand student growth, microanalyze groups for impact, and communicating feedback and wonderings around this instructional impact. Into 26-27, we'll continue to use this data to move from managers to evaluators to instructional coaches, leading through data to drive instructional change. We need to identify what to continue, what to drop, and what to adjust. So I talked about that site planning. It starts today. We still have 2 months of school left. We are responsible for continuing all instructional efforts, and it's okay to identify at this point in time what's not working and pivot. And so as a leadership team, we'll continue that learning Thursday in our ILT, Friday in our AP and Principal PLC to shift our work, monitor progress, and adjust for what's best for students. Finally, the work ahead of us is not just about the data. It's really about what happens in the classrooms, in coaching conversations, and in leadership decisions that every single day impact the experience of our students. And that's it. Questions?
Board members, I'm going to start on my left with Mr. Velasquez this time, please.
Yes.
You said that not all schools are showing the same growth stuff. What is being done to help those schools that are not showing growth?
That's a great question. So we have the data is in front of you now. So you have specific site data so you can dive into it for more information. But what's being done is we have cohorted our principals into different instructional teams. We do instructional learning walks as an ed services team. We have director supports moving into classrooms to identify how do we support leadership. We've also reached into different programs. You heard a little bit about Vital. How are we providing professional leadership to our leaders so they in turn can go back to their sites and support their sites? So that has looked a little bit scripted in some ways, and in others, some flexibility. So you heard work with teacher clarity. We work with our superintendent's compass, guiding us in what students are learning, and making sure that through the work of directors that we are there to support daily on making those changes on their sites.
So people are there at that, additional people are there to help them in the classroom?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ocampo?
Yeah, I know that both you and also Luis Romero spoke about vocabulary routine, and I think that's an important thing. But can you elaborate more on that? Can you talk about more what that actually entails, what it looks like?
So we don't have a standard vocabulary routine across all of our district. There's not one, like, this is what we do. But we do analyze what the standards say for our students to learn, and we break that down to understand what specific vocabulary students will need. And that becomes part of the teaching and learning that happens in the classroom. So when we look at the work through Vital, we look at the work in PLCs, we are identifying those key vocabulary words that are essential for student learning. And then as a grade level team, they're approaching how are they going to introduce it? How are they going to teach it? How do they make it visible? Because we do know that a majority of our population are English learners. And what we are missing in some of our instruction, not to any fault of anybody, is how do we increase language using vocabulary, using what we have in front of us to support, but in service to something. So we can't just teach vocabulary to teach vocabulary. We need to teach vocabulary to be in service to math, in service to reading comprehension, in service to the learning that's taking place in the classroom.
How do teachers make it fun? You know, the teaching.
Teaching is not fun.
Well, the teaching of vocabulary. How do they make it fun for the students?
So you're welcome. No, so that's a great question, right? Thank you. No, so I have had the fortune of going on so many learning walks, and I have seen we are getting manipulatives out. There are visuals out. Students are painting words. They're drawing words. They are engaging physically. They're talking with their student or with their peers. So they are finding ways. It's not like when I went to school and it was see the picture, write the definition, use it in a sentence, write it 3 times, tell your right. That practice isn't there. So they really are thinking out loud because we know student engagement is number one. Right. If students are engaged in the learning, which is hard when everything is so technologically, like I have it right here. Why do I need to learn it? I can Google it. And we have second graders like that. So that's how they're engaging them.
I think the student engagement is really super important. I'm thinking about, there's an author by the name of Francisco Jimenez who wrote a book called Circuit. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. But he was, as a child, he was a migrant in Santa Maria. And they spent, their time moving from one town to another town. But he had a teacher, so he writes in his autobiography, he had a teacher that gave them, I think, a new vocabulary word every day. And it was kind of a deal where if you got, enough words, if you learned enough words, you get like a golden star. Well, he writes that he never got a golden star, probably because, he started school kind of old, not speaking English, so he was at a real disadvantage. But at some point, he developed a real love for language, and he would make vocabulary lists, and in fact, he would even make rules of grammar, rules of math. And when he was out picking cotton, he would actually take time to actually memorize and learn these rules, and so he was really engaged. He was really, very intentional. And now he's a professor of English at Santa Clara University. It's a nice little book, only about 100 pages. I think the reading is not very difficult. It could probably be read by sixth graders who have good vocabulary. But I would recommend it. It's called Circuit by Francisco Jimenez. It's a very, very nice book just about his life and how he moved from being undocumented to being a migrant student, to then being a professor. He's written many other books, and sometimes he's come out and he's spoken out at Hartnell, and he's autographed his books, but just a thought, but yeah, I mean, so it's got to be made fun, but the students also have to obviously buy into it, but hopefully the making it fun makes them buy into it,
Well, and finding purpose. Finding the purpose.
Right, yeah. So anyway, that's my little story. But thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Trustee Perez, please. You have a comment or question?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
I had one brief question. I got so excited when you said something about 21% of our students did better in math somehow. But then we're still in trouble in math.
So,
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. We are growing in math. We are seeing the growth. There are some very intentional efforts being led by our director of teaching and learning, and in collaboration with some of the other peers that are sitting behind me back here, in work on understanding math and how to drive that forward in our teaching and learning and a student experience. It is still a work in progress. So we want to celebrate that our students did grow. We've moved to an achievement of 21%. Is that where we want to be? No, we still have areas to improve. We want to see all of those students move over. But what is really important, we went to a training, and something that was highlighted for us are, what are the small wins? Because if we don't start celebrating our small wins, we get exhausted trying to achieve the big ones. And we all know those small wins, those little ones where we're able to say, wow, look at us, what we're doing here, we can keep doing that, and then we can expand on it. That helps get us to that big win.
Well, thank you, because I think for a long time, the board would have conversations with our former superintendent about math and, math. Now with our new superintendent, math. And so it looks like all of us together focusing on how the students need, yes, reading, vocabulary, all of that, but help with the math. It's good to know that the leadership is recognizing that and working on it for our students. So thank you for a very good presentation.
Thank
A lot
you.
of information. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on now to item number 4, board member superintendent reports. I'm going to start with Trustee Perez this time on my right here. Nothing to report. Mr. Ocampo?
I'll try to make it short.
Please.
I know that sometimes I go on and on and on. But anyway, on March the 27th, I attended the Monterey County School Boards Association annual dinner and organizational meeting. Two of the organizations that were highlighted were the Dream Big Monterey Science Reading Academy. And I know that we have used that Reading Academy, if I'm not mistaken, I think, to in-service our teachers on reading, and also the Salinas Valley Health Mobile Clinic. So in 2025, the Dream Reading Academy was awarded the prestigious CSBA Golden Bell Award, which is really a high honor. And the primary function of the Reading Academy is to provide professional development to teachers on evidence-based strategies to teach reading. Seems to really work, and I'm glad to see that we're using it. Now, the Excellence of Education Award, which is kind of what the dinner was all about, we say, well, who receives the Excellence of Education Award? And this year it went to the Salinas Valley Health Mobile Clinic. They were the recipients of the Excellence in Education Award. And present to receive the award were Dr. Orlando Rodriguez, who's a medical director, and also Lynette Fitzgerald, who's a mobile clinic program manager. So the mobile clinic itself, I'll just mention a few things, how it is that it helps our students. First, it does provide free medical services to our community, to our parents, and to our students, which is important, especially in this present economy where we're seeing everything rise from food to gas and everything. You know, free medical service, I think, helps our parents deal with their finances. Now, all people who are served, the clinic serves all people, including the undocumented. You know, the mobile clinic is like our schools, right? We don't ask young people for their papers. You know, we say, "Come on in." You know, we don't go that route. Thank God for that. Now, 91% of the people visiting the mobile clinic do not have medical insurance, so it is a needed service that's provided. The mobile unit also provides ongoing medical care to the community, including vaccinations, and also functions as an urgent care facility. You know, if someone has an emergency, right, you know, you don't have insurance, you don't have a doctor, well, you go to the mobile clinic and they'll take care of you. Now, some neat things that I heard that night was that the mobile clinic has partnered with a local lab to provide free blood work. And I had written the name of that local lab, but as we were leaving, I left my notes on the table, and somebody got my notes and threw my notes in the garbage. So I don't remember the name, but I know that they do provide, you know, free service. And the mobile unit has also partnered with the Monterey County Food Bank to provide food to our community. So I just, you know, want to take a moment to thank the clinic. I think it does a very important job, you know, because it takes care of the social and emotional needs of our students, their medical needs. And apart from just, in order for our students to learn, they have to be in a good place socially, mentally, and medically too. So I just want to thank the clinic, and I'm sure that everyone on this board appreciates the work that the mobile clinic is doing. So it was a fun night. The food was good, and it was great. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Ocampo. So everybody had an opportunity, right? Ms. Perez, Mr. Velasquez? Not yet? Okay, you're next.
I just have a question. I just wondered why it is that we need the school attorney at every meeting.
It would be at the request of the board president or the superintendent. Are you asking about tonight
It
specifically?
seems like at every meeting I've been here, I mean, we've had the attorney present at every meeting for the entire time. It's not cheap. And I'm just wondering why we need.
I agree with that. This time, I requested it, and there's other times that we're doing litigation in closed session that we need that, but
Couldn't we
maybe
make a
it's
phone
been,
call?
pardon me?
Couldn't we make a phone call?
Yeah, sometimes by Zoom, but actually, and I don't mean to correct you, but they're not here every time.
I mean, every meeting I've been to, they've been here.
How many meetings have you been here?
Third one.
Well, okay, so 3,
Yeah, but
you know.
I'm saying that,
Mhm.
I just see that, wondering why we need them.
Well, today I felt the need, and you know, I'm glad she was here to support me on that. But yeah, I do agree, you know, so maybe that's something we can discuss in closed session, agendize it maybe, and ask, you know, we can't do it here, but maybe ask that more appropriately in closed session. Good question. So I'm next, right? So I just, did anybody notice we have a new look in the boardroom? Yeah, I'm glad that there was a budget that we were able to, spice it up, not spice it up a little bit, but the curtains, those curtains they remind me like in Mexico when you cover your pans with the curtains and they really, I don't know, just nothing's wrong with it, but this isn't even a boardroom. So we discussed, with Mr. Anzo, can we make it look a little bit better, and I think it looks great. And thank you, Mr. Abbasi. The funds were there to be able to do that. And so I just think it looks really nice. Thanks to the maintenance guys who, I don't know if it creates more work for you or not, but thank you for doing that. Because I believe, how many years had it been since we did an uplift since the old boardroom, correct? Yeah. Yeah. So I think getting new furniture,
13, 14 years.
yeah, 13 or 14 years is, you know, instead of getting a new boardroom, which I would love, but I'm sure I'll be gone by then. But thank you for that. And the MOTS people, your crew, not people. Okay, so we're gonna go on to consent agenda. Oh, I forgot the superintendent. That's right. That would be Mrs. Anzo.
So mine's real quick. I just want to publicly share that I will be seeking direction from the rest of the board. I know what we've been talking to the board president and our council about the renaming of Cesar Chavez Elementary. And we know it's coming. It's a subsequent neighbors districts throughout California already have started that process. So I will be bringing in the board item for our next board meeting following one of board policy 7310. So that'll be on the April 22nd meeting. So we can follow the policy and come up with a committee if that's what the board desires.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Superintendent. Sorry about overlooking you there. So we'll go on now to consent agenda. Approve, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, and field trips. So it's an action item to approve the consent agenda. May I please get a motion?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo?
Second.
Second by Trustee Perez. Any comments, questions, concerns from board members? Mr. Ocampo?
I did have a question on item 5, OP. Now, this is a motion to install synthetic turf at Buckhorn Elementary and also Oscar F. Loya Elementary. I think it has a combined cost of almost 500,000. It's not quite there, but it's close. So I'm just curious to know what the rationale is for this item. I mean, why not just plant grass? I mean, what are the benefits of synthetic turf? Is it somehow more cost effective in the long run? Is that what's happening here? So I'm just curious, I'd like to understand the thinking behind this particular proposal.
So we have two different reasons for two different items. The first one is Buckhorn Early Learning Center. So during construction, in the back of the center, we had a play area for kids, and it has pebbles and sand in those sandboxes. And the issue is children sometimes do not know how to use that. They start eating pebbles or sand. So it became an issue. Same thing with sand. So we want to make it more useful for kids and staff. With that in mind, and after discussing with the staff and with our own maintenance department, we chose to go with this route. So that's the case with the Buckhorn Early Learning Center. In case of Loya, the backfield of Loya Elementary School, after a rainy day, it becomes unusable. It's uneven, it has mud, so it becomes really unused, not very productive for kids, any kind of activities. We think if we do the same thing that we did with Frank Paul Elementary School, we covered that with artificial turf, it has become very useful all year round. It's expensive, but in the long term, in the long run, it's going to be very useful for kids and staff.
Okay, I suppose where there's sand, it'd be difficult to plant grass, I suppose. Is that the deal, or?
So that's in case of buckhorn, yes.
Okay.
The sand and pebbles are going to be replaced with the artificial grass,
Right.
synthetic turf.
So with water running down, even with artificial turf, you'll have some water probably coming down. Will you have some kind of system to?
We have a system, we have a slope, and it's not that big. In case of buckhorn, it's not very big area. It's a pretty small area,
Okay.
so that's not an issue.
Okay.
In case of Loya, yes, we are going to have plan to have some kind of slope. So when there's a rain, it just goes down and goes in the drain.
Okay, thank you for that.
If you have an opportunity to go to Frank Paul, that will give you a very good visual of how good it's going to be after it's done.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Just a real follow-up question with Dr. Mr. Ocampo. Have you looked at that rubber turf instead of the artificial turf? The rubber floors that they put in many of playgrounds? I'm just wondering if that would be cheaper and a little bit safer.
So in case of Loya, it's pretty large area. So rubber is not an option. We did see some other options. We had some consultants to look at that, including some architects, and they think that the artificial turf is the best solution for that large area. In smaller areas like buckhorn, or if you have a small play structure, yes, rubberized surface is an option. But in the larger areas, that's not an option. Also, maintenance can be an issue when you have a large area. It's not easy to maintain. In case of artificial turf, it's easier to maintain on annual basis, and that we actually do. We have done that in case of Frank Paul Elementary School as well. So yeah, every ground has a different need and situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, okay, Mr. Ocampo? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I do have a motion from Mr. Ocampo to approve the consent agenda and a second from Ms. Perez. If there are no more questions or concerns, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? 4-0 with one being absent, the motion carries. Okay, so we'll move on to business services. We have an action item, resolution 2526-15, issuance of sale of general obligation bonds. May I please get a motion? Motion made by trustee Perez,
Second.
second by Mr. Ocampo. Comments, questions, concerns from any of the board members? No? Mr. Velazquez?
Yes, I'm just wondering, with all the bonds that we have on the local properties, how much more is this going to contribute to the addition to the, local residents in the area?
Could you turn is your mic on?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
So that's not a new bond. That's the first part of the answer.
But when you issue it, it becomes an additional money that goes to that the residents have to pay.
Yes. So what happened is that when the actual bond was issued in 2006, at that time we had a built-in per parcel rate, and that still maintains, that still goes on. We just issued that bond in increments. So we issued series A, B, and C already. This is series D, $7.7 million. So that the easy answer is that yes, that's already built in 2006 GEO bond that was issued a long time ago. And after this issue, we are done. We're not going to issue anymore. Residents of this LSL East Salinas community already approved that in 2006. So that's not additional burden on taxpayers. It's going to be a new burden if we issue a new GEO bond, and that is going to happen after election process. And that is something we're not planning on doing unless and until we build a new elementary school. And that can happen in the 10 to 15 to 20 years when we build school 13 and 14 and 15 sometime in the future. But until that time, there is no additional burden because the residents of this community already approved that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions, comments? Okay, we'll go ahead and I do have a motion by Trustee Perez, a second by Mr. Ocampo. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No. Motion carries on a vote of 4-0 with one being absent, one trustee being absent. Moving on to business services, B, it's a information quarterly investment report as of December 31, 2025. Were you gonna comment on that or?
Definitely, yes. So we bring this item to Board of Trustees every 3 months, and that just reflects how much money we have, actual cash we have in the bank, and how much interest we earn on that. So we reflect or we show the rate of interest. Currently, we are earning at the rate of 4.23%. That's our rate of return. That money is reflected in our books as local income. That's interest income, but that's our local income. And that can be used for any purpose that Board of Education decides. A good example is that the money we receive in LCFF, most of that money goes to classroom for instruction, direct instruction. Interest income that we get, that can be used for other things that Board of Education thinks that they should be made. For example, new furniture for Board of Education. We don't show that in the actual LCF of money. So we use this money for other authorized purposes that we think that are needed. So we do not impact the classroom instruction. Classroom instruction money is not impacted at all.
Okay. Alrighty then. We'll go to business services B, information quarterly investment report as of December 31st, 2025. Did I mess up? Oh, we just did that one. Excuse me. C, thank you. Information measure A and M financial and performance audits fiscal year June 30th, 2025.
So anytime we issue a bond, a GO bond, it can be A or M, and then we issue that bond in different installments. They're called series A, B, C, or D. After we raise those funds, we must have an audit done to reflect the expenditure of those expenditures. We want transparency. The auditors look at the expenditures we make and they say, yes, the money spent based on the language of the mayor. In this case, the auditors, because we are spending money on A and M, M is used for the construction of or reconstruction of LSL Community School and Fremont Elementary School. A is used for maintenance projects. Roofing projects is one example. Flooring. It can have different maintenance projects. We show all those expenditures to our auditors and they give us an opinion. In this case, it's a clean opinion that all the money we spent is based on the language of the original purpose of the bond. Clean audit, and we passed.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're going to move on now to item number 7, human resources. We have several action items here. The first one, A, is declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2026-27 school year. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Trustee Perez makes the motion. Trustee Velasquez, the second. Do any of the board members have any questions or concerns about this item? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and go to the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Vote will be recorded as motion carrying 4-0. Thank you. B, action item, LSL Union School District Sunshine Proposal for the 25-26 school year. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Trustee Perez makes the motion. May I get a second? Mr. Velasquez, Trustee Velasquez, second. Comments, questions, concerns? Any other board members? No? Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No, so motion carries and vote will be recorded as 4-0 with one being absent. Thank you. C, action item, request for 3.75 full-time employees per educator for I need a motion, please.
So move.
Ocampo, Mr. Trustee Ocampo.
Second.
Second, Trustee Perez. Comments, questions, board members? No? Okay. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Vote will be recorded as 4-0 motion carrying with one being absent. Item number D. Action item, request for 2 additional full-time equivalent positions, speech therapist. May I get a motion, please?
So move.
Trustee Ocampo, he was louder. Second, Trustee Perez.
Well, let me get my mic close.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Get ready there. Okay, so any comments, questions, concerns by any of the,
Just had a question. Will these therapists be like, they'll actually be in person, right? It's not going to be through the, what do you call it, Zoom, that kind of stuff.
No, this is for 2 additional LSL staff, so we'll be hiring.
Live bodies. right?
Yes.
All right, cool, okay.
Mr. Velasquez?
In the past, I know that we had sent some teachers out to get trained to become speech therapists. Whatever happened with that? We sent like about 10 of them. That was long before you, but I mean, I know we sent them. Whatever happened? I think the requirement was that they had to stay at least 3 years, and we paid for the education to get them trained. Anybody know what happened with that?
No, we could do some research and find out. I think currently what we have is a partnership with CSUMB. So that partnership will help us get the therapists, but I can do some
I think
research.
this was through San Jose State, if I remember correctly. I might be
Okay.
wrong, but I thought it was through San Jose State, but there was like about 10 of them. And I remember one of them dropped out, and we had concerns that, I mean, were they gonna pay the money back? Because, you know, they took the money in for the classes and they just ended up dropping out, but I just never know what happened with them. I just wanted to first, are they are still around, or did they already leave?
We'll do some research, and then when we meet with you on the 14th,
Yeah,
we'll have some
one
answers.
question?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
I was curious. I know that there's a shortage of speech therapists. Do we have actual people applying for this? I mean, are there people out there that are actually, that we know of who are applying?
So as soon as, if this is approved tonight, then we can start advertising, and then I can send on the weekly update, superintendent update, if we have candidates applying.
Maybe our relationship with the local college would help possibly.
CSUMB, actually, this is like their 4th year with their program. They didn't have one before, and adding that program has actually allowed us to, one, work with them as they're training, and then hiring them as well.
Oh, wonderful, okay. So it's like a pipeline.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So if there are no more comments, questions from the board, we're going to go ahead and call for the vote. I have a motion by Mr. Ocampo, second by Trustee Perez. All those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries, and vote will be recorded as passing 4-0 with one being absent. Moving on to administrative services. A, action item, National Association of Latino Elected Officials, 43rd Annual Conference, July 14th through 14th through the 16th, 2026 in Los Angeles, California. Attendees, Board of Trustees. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Trustee Perez, second by Trustee Ocampo. Does anybody have I have a question. If no, does anybody else have a question or a comment?
No.
Mr. Velasquez?
At this NALEO conference, do we only go to the ones here in California, or does this allow for board members to go to the ones that are out of state?
We went to New Orleans, I think, one time.
So because it's a national conference, this year it's actually in California. Last year, I believe it was in Georgia, so the board has traveled out of state.
Is there really a need to travel out of state for this conference? I mean, I just see this as a perk that we really don't need, especially as expensive as it is. I just think that as long as I would say even if it's just the bordering states, that'd be fine, but going out to New Orleans, and some of these have been in Miami, some of them have been all over the place. I mean, they're expensive. I just think it's a perk that's a little too expensive to keep attending when they're that far away.
I personally agree with that, but I'm the only one that that feels that way. And it is. One conference was over $20,000 for only 4 board members. And I thought that was a lot, especially because Naleo didn't have at that time, I don't know about now, an educational strand or anything that we could follow and just for education or for board members. I don't know if they have that now or not, but since it's Los Angeles, I think it's better than spend. I'm sure the cost isn't going to be. What's the total cost there for Los Angeles? And my question was going to be, why isn't the superintendent included? Usually you are included in not this one, not this one. Okay.
This
Oh, here it is.
superintendent has been included in CSBA,
That's right.
CLSBA.
Yeah. See, it's $13,864. That's still a lot. It's still a lot. So,
I just believe that that's one conference that we really don't need to attend. It's not, we get nothing out of it. The district gets nothing out of it as far as what is learned there. I think that's just an expensive conference that personally I think we just get rid of.
thank you. Any more comments? I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote then. I have a motion from Ms. Trustee Perez and then second by Mr. Ocampo. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, so all those naysayers say nay, nay, two. So, and it's also you. So it's two. It's tied, so I guess we're gonna have to put it back on the agenda for next time when we have the Ms. Garcia here. Okay? Alrighty. And now I better not go, huh? But anyways, we'll go ahead and go to action item B. Revised school calendar 25-26. May I please get a motion?
So move.
Second.
I'm gonna make my motion that on this one, since it's already passed, we just leave it alone. If you guys want to do the next one, remove the name, that's fine, but I believe this one's already passed, so removing the name does nothing at this point. It's already passed.
I'm not
So my move is
understanding.
gonna just leave it as it is.
The calendar?
Yes.
What's the difference?
We're just changing Children's Day to Farmers
Oh,
Day.
okay.
So it's actually doing 2 things for this year's school calendar. One of them is changing the name to Farm Workers Day. I think that's old, yes. Farm Workers Movement Day. And then the other part of that is actually making the Monday, Tuesday of the last week minimum days as well.
But those are already passed, and it wasn't it for just last month?
No, our current calendar doesn't have Farm Workers Day, and our current calendar doesn't have those 2 minimum days at the end.
But I know, but I'm saying, because you're just changing, but didn't that day already pass?
You mean the day itself is
Yes.
already passed? Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There's no, I mean, it's already passed. I mean, I'm saying leave it alone. It's already passed. If you want to change it for the next one, that's fine, but this one's already passed. It doesn't, we're changing something that's already gone by.
I think just with also just updating it when we actually print them out and post it on the public websites and everything else, we would just like to to change the name in
Yeah, that's
itself.
what I'm saying. It's already passed. My motion is that this calendar stay as it is.
Okay, so that's like a substitute motion that we have to address first. Is there anyone gonna second Mr. Velasquez substitute motion to leave it as is? We would need a motion and a second, or he made the motion. Is there support with the second? Mr. Ocampo?
No.
Ms. Perez?
No.
On myself, no. So, the vote then there is
Call for a new motion then.
pardon me?
Then you call for a new motion.
Well, yours was the new motion. Yours was the new
Mine
one.
was a motion to
No,
leave it as
that's
is.
right,
so-
that's right. So we go back to the original, revise the calendar. Okay, so do we have to, so you made the motion to revise the first, to revise
I
the
made the
first one?
motion to leave it as is,
Uh-huh,
to revise
okay.
it, so.
All right, so I need a motion to revise it.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Perez. So I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed.
Mr. Velasquez, thank you. Okay, going on to item number C, action item revised 2026 school, 26-27 school calendar. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Trustee Perez, second by Mr. Trustee Ocampo. Questions, comments, vote, concern? No? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? No? All righty. Thank you. Item number D, Information Williams Uniform Complaints Quarterly Report, January 1st to March 31st, 2026, due April 2026. Any information or anything on that? No? Okay.
No, this one's just, we didn't receive any complaints, so we have to bring it to the board just showing if we
Awesome.
received complaints or not, but this one we did not.
Awesome. Thank you. So, future agenda items, we have school site presentation from Jesse Sanchez Elementary School. We have a department presentation, human resources, and then we'll have another Montevilla presenting. Is there anything the board members would like to add now? It's not the only opportunity to add an agenda item, but are there any agenda items any of the board members would like to add now? No? Okay. Thank you. We'll go on to number 10, future meeting dates, April 22nd, 13th, and April 22nd, May 13th, and June 3rd. Public comments. A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees in closed session on closed session agenda items may do so at this time. Starting time is 7:35. Do we have anybody that wants to say? Okay. So we'll end also at 7:35. So we'll meet in closed session, board members, in 10 minutes. 7:46, we'll take a 10-minute break. Thank you very much. And we'll you. Okay, we're reconvening into open session at 8:24 p.m. and there is nothing to report from closed session, so we'll adjourn at 8:24. Good night and thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.